Welcome to the Build Your Beautiful Business podcast with your host, Julie C. Butler. If you're looking to build the business of your dreams, then this is the space you want to be in. Join Julie as she talks about ways that you can successfully scale your profitable dream business, one that will give you ultimate time freedom and the abundant lifestyle you deserve. Julie will take you by the hand, sharing with you her business savvy strategies as she chats it up with her favorite online entrepreneurs. You'll get a weekly dose of boosted confidence as you learn as they reveal their insight, tips, and tools that you need to start building a profitable dream business of your own, one that you'll love and that works for you on autopilot.
Hi there, and welcome back to the BBB podcast. Today, we have my beautiful friend, Anne-Marie Gruden, on the show with us. Anne-Marie is an award-winning brand photographer and the creator of Magnolia Sage Stock. Offers brand photography for ambitious entrepreneurs, female brands who want to feel like themselves in their images. With her talents and expertise in branding, she helps female entrepreneurs strategically build their visual brand story through one-on-one personal brand photo sessions of all the visual tools she's created for you at Magnolia Sage Stock. And whether you work with Anne-Marie personally or grab her stock photos, you'll walk away with an amazing set of visuals that speaks your brand story so that you can get back to doing what you love and not worry about how to stand out in the sea of sameness. Her ultimate goal is to create branding images and bespoke as bespoke as the entrepreneur in or using them, allowing them to build a brand and business she inspires and thrives. Hello, welcome back to the BBB Summit. I'm your host, Julie C. Butler, and I have my biz bestie, BFF, Anne-Marie Gruden, all the things, my lovely friend that we speak we talk about 5 times a day. She's my go-to whenever I have biz-related questions. Hi, Anne-Marie. Thanks for being a speaker.
Hey, Julie.
Hey.
Thank you for having me. And yeah, I mean, we chat all the time. We connect, we converse, and I think we both, I don't know, we up level, like we help each other out so that we are able to do the things that we do. And it's a beautiful experience relationship that we've got going on.
I know.
And,
that we've built over like
15 years.
Yeah, almost 15 years, right?
Yeah. And it's epic. And I know
it
feels
really
weird
cool
when I don't talk to you for 2 days.
Yeah.
And we're just coming out of a 4-day weekend. And I think I've only talked to you once.
I know you were busy and I was busy, but to be also real. We don't like on the weekends, we usually do our own thing and then check in on Mondays. Yeah.
Just 4 days is a long time to go.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's so good having a biz bestie that you can bounce ideas off of and go through this journey together, right? Like
building our businesses, the branding, doing all the things. And, you know, we've had many similar steps along the way, and how we've built them and branded them and put them together. And
I know.
2 minds are better than one.
Exactly. So we know each other because,
right?
Exactly. So we know each other because we're photographers. I'm kind of hanging up my camera now, but you're not.
No.
So you're a photographer. You're an amazing photographer and brand expert. And so before we get started, I'd love for you to share a little bit about who Anne-Marie is.
Well, thank you for that. As Julie said, I'm Anne-Marie Gruden. I am a brand photographer. I specialize in branding. I've been in the photography industry for 30 plus years. And I help female coaches, entrepreneurs up-level their brands with beautiful photos, whether it's a personal brand session or stock photography. I have a stock photography site as well called Magnolia Sage Stock, and it's filled with all kinds of lifestyle imaging to fill in the blanks when your personal brand sessions can't do all of the things for you. That's kind of me. That's me in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, I know your 30-second commercial. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Amazing photographer. And for you guys, if you're listening and you're like in the vicinity or Ottawa-ish area, or, you know,
Eastern Ontario,
Eastern
Canada.
Ontario, and you're looking for a good brand photographer, look Anne-Marie up, or stock photos for that matter.
Yeah,
If you're
yeah, yeah,
looking for
yeah,
stock
yeah.
photos. Yeah, yeah. So today I'm excited because we're going to talk about how to ace any brand photo shoot, whether it's your first or whether you've had 10 or dozens, right? Like, I think that a lot of people, and you can probably attest to this, that some people don't do the brand photo shoots because they don't have the confidence to go
No,
in and
100%.
get good pictures, right?
Or they look at them and go, oh, they automatically put up barriers of, I don't look like that. I don't have the wardrobe. I don't have the location. I don't have, basically. And or they compare it to getting their wisdom teeth pulled from the dentist, or like, or having a root canal. And
Mm-hmm.
or they just, most people cringe when they see those cameras and you don't know how to perform. We're not models. So I want to talk to you today about how to how to overcome those fears, stand up with confidence, plan an amazing session, and yeah, go through all the steps. So whether you book me personally, you'll know how to show up, how to plan, what you need, all the steps, and some really good fundamentals to any photo session.
I love that. And I had some questions here I was going to ask you, and I'm kind of going to start at the end because I
Oh,
think
okay.
that, yeah, I think that going into building and growing our businesses, it's so the importance of brand photos is important, right? Like the
100%.
visual. And,
Yeah.
and so I want to ask you, like, in your opinion, what are the benefits of having brand photos? Why not just use stock photos and like, the different like ways that we can use them and why it's so important to have them and use them in our business.
Well, first off, you at least need beautiful headshots, whether they're lifestyle, clean gray backdrop, like what you're standing in front of, because your audience needs to see you. They want to connect with you. They want to know who they're buying from, who they're shopping with, who they're talking to, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have your profile photo up on your Instagram or whatever, people will shy away because they think it's a product, a bot, a big company, and they don't get that one-on-one connection. So I think that's like, if you do the very minimum, at least have some lifestyle headshots type of stuff so that you've got a nice assortment of photos of you doing your thing. You can intermix stock photography 100%, but you do need to show up at some point. So even if it's just, a little sneak of you on your homepage where it's your little intro about you, and then all over your about page, and then fill the rest up with stock. Like, it doesn't really matter, but they do need to coordinate. They do need to tell your story. So if you can't find stock photos that tell your story, then maybe, or you have a really unique business, like if you're a nutritionist, a dietitian, et cetera, have some really brand photos that depict what you do and who you
Mm-hmm.
serve and how you serve them. I did a session recently with a nutritionist, and we chose to shoot in a kitchen, not because she was cooking at all. It was because she plans the recipes. So we thought we used a kitchen setting, laptop, kitchen table, the ambiance of a kitchen in the background out of focus, nice and gooey, lots of room for copy. And that automatically tells the story that, hey, I deal with food.
Yeah.
I'm planning, right? So when she goes in and talks about, I'm a dietitian, I do this, I do that, I do the other things, it makes sense because the photo has already done some of that heavy lifting for her,
Mm-hmm.
for that copy that you're going to put in there, because we all know that people don't read, they skim, they scroll. So you have to catch their attention. And having good storytelling images with lots of nice clean space or copy is important, because
Yeah.
they work together. They work together hand in hand.
Mm-hmm. And you hear it all the time, right? Like, especially now where more and more people want to start and grow a business online because of the last,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
last 3 years of what's been going down.
Yeah.
When they say to you, you have to figure out a way to stand out. Could this be one of the ways that we can stand out in a saturated market of all of the entrepreneurs?
Absolutely, 100%, because the more unique and the more you tell your specific story, that's your unique selling point, right? So it's not a generic, it's not like, it's not all generic, it's not all looking like everybody else. Like, it's one thing to go and get inspiration about how you want your brand photos to look, but it's you that's actually showing up and being in them. So that automatically makes them more unique than generic. Did that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I've shot in similar places around the city here in Ottawa, but it always takes on a different story or a different look and feel with a different person, the different content, the different lighting, different seasons. And it's so essential to tell your unique story so that you can stand out.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Plus you nailed it. Like before you said, people want to see your face, right?
Yeah, they want to know who they're buying from. Like, in this digital age, we're hesitant to hand over credit cards and money and whatnot. But if you can share your story, your journey, how it's helped you, how it's helped other people, then they're more likely to connect, because their story resonates with their story. And then they've automatically built a bond. Like, we love hearing those connectivities, right? So
I agree.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the way I relate to people, right? Like, I love seeing people, what they look like, the face behind the brand, right? Like, I think that this helps me in my buying process.
Yeah. And I know in my industry too, like, there's some clients that, like, you think, oh man, like, you wait, like, it's a long game in photography. People will see you on Insta, they'll see you on Facebook, they'll see you over here, but they won't necessarily book you right then and there, because it's a bit of a high ticket price point. But they're aware of you and they've been following you long before they actually book. So it's important to keep showing up. And, with your own brand photos, you can. And you can have those pretty fees, and you can stay consistent, right? So
and I mean, we can use and reuse our photos, right? It's amazing.
Yeah. And I did create the stock to do some of the heavy lifting, so people don't have to book personal brand sessions all the time. So if you can get in with a boutique stock company that has beautiful images that align with your story, align with your vision, your brand, I don't want to say ethics, but the vision of your brand, color palettes, mood, look, feel, that will mix with your brand photos, you'll be able to create consistent content to put out that will have a similar look and feel. It'll be cohesive. It's not going to be a little bit here, a little bit there, and then because if once we show up consistently and keep telling our story day after day after day after day, like, because not everyone's on every day too, right?
No,
sometimes people are on once a month and they might have missed what you did last week. So but then if they go and check out your feed and it all looks nice and clean and matched and cohesive, I don't know, they do a lot of work for you.
Yeah, it's true.
They are worth the investment.
Definitely. Okay, cool. So let's dive in then. So where do we start?
We dive into
let's dive into it. Where do we start? So walk us through the planning process, Anne-Marie.
Okay, so the plan, you do need to have a plan. And I always like to start with a vision board. And that vision board always kind of starts with, who are you? What do you want your photos to do for you, right? And what do you want them to say for you? Because that will dictate the look, the feel, the style, the approach, the angles, the lighting, the time of year. Is it in a studio? Is it lifestyle? Are you a fitness, like, do you do yoga? Like, are you a yoga instructor? So like, that's going to dictate the wheres and the hows and all of that kind of stuff. So I like to start with a mood board, or obviously my clients that come to me have already done some of this, but sometimes I send them back to the drawing board as well, because I want more information. I want them to think about these things, because the more they can bring to the table on actual shoot day, the better the collaboration can be. Because if you bring your energy into the shoot and the photographer brings theirs, magic happens. But if you leave all that work to your photographer, they're going to give you exactly what their style is. and it might not necessarily align with yours,
Okay, that makes sense.
right?
That makes sense. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Hmm.
So basically you want to figure out what it is you want to shoot. And then you need to actually start looking for a photographer, because you've picked all these poses, you picked all this style, and then literally do a Google search for brand photographer in whatever city you're in, or or if you want to travel and want to spend a bucket of money, there are amazing brand photographers that do some traveling,
Hmm.
right? Like Bri Penny in the UK.
Hmm.
Right? I'd
Yeah.
love to be photographed by her. So, like there are some amazing photographers that travel around the globe, and you can book in with them. And if you love their style, you love their vibe and their process and stuff. So you found your photographer, you've got your vibe, and then it's always really important to bring into where you shoot. I love lifestyle because to me that tells the story even
Hmm.
more than just a clean backdrop. The clean backdrop photos are good for if you're going into Canva and close cropping and you want to put stuff behind you. So those are always good to capture during your session, but the lifestyle stuff tells more of a story and will do more work for you in the long run. Like, is it in your office? Is it
Hmm.
working in a kitchen? Do you work from your living room? And your photographer will be able to help you find those spaces, because not everyone has a pretty office, but you want it to look like you have a pretty office. So,
Yeah.
so there's studios, there's cafes, there's work locations that we can book and help you find, appropriate locations to shoot.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then also pre-photo shoot day, you're going to want to plan your wardrobe, your props, your accessories. Your wardrobe really should, your photographer will help you with that too. I mean, if I'm booking a 4-hour, we're doing at least 3 to 4. I call them stories, because you have the story of what you do at work and how you serve your clients. Do you want photos of you interacting with a client where it's just kind of over their shoulder and focused on you? So you want to plan out your stories ahead of time. Yeah. Any questions on any of that so far?
No, I love it. And also, yeah, like doing the work and then looking for a photographer, I think is key, because then you can have a conversation with the photographer and see if you have
Absolutely.
that chemistry, right? Because that's important too. And I think it's also very important. The chemistry is really important, because that is going to dictate your
100%.
photos, right? Like,
100%. Because if you
yeah.
don't like that person and you think they're bossy, you're going to have like a negative vibe going on, and you're just going to be
Mhm.
closed off. You have to be 100% open and ready to dive in and do this, no matter how uncomfortable you
Yeah.
are.
Well, no,
Like,
but like,
yeah,
yeah. And think about
yeah,
it as if you were interviewing someone um to do coaching or something like that. Same thing, right? Like
yeah.
you have to have that chemistry, because without the chemistry, no chemistry is going to equal pictures that you might not be happy with, right?
Yeah.
Versus having the chemistry with the photographer, being
Mm,
confident to have those conversations, and
mm,
being vulnerable and saying, like, I feel this about my shape, or I prefer being photographed this way, or whatever.
yeah.
And being comfortable enough with your photographer to share those things with them, and then they can be like, okay, I got you. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
So when you're looking for them, vet them, and don't just go in at the price point, because there's some amazing photographers that are kind of priced in the middle. There's some really expensive photographers that aren't that great. So price point is not always the dictating factor. But if you also find someone that you love their style and you go, I really love everything that they've done, they're going to be an amazing photographer for you, because chances are those people that you love their work of, they're normal people just like you, and that photographer has coached them to get those photos. So that's part of my job when I work with you
Hmm.
one-on-one, is I coach you on the proper posing and the stance and the what to pack in your wardrobe and what locations and what props. And I don't get you to bring the same props as everybody else, because that might not be what your story is.
Yeah.
You know what I, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you need to vet your photographer just like you would vet your coaches.
Mm-hmm. And
And
also, like photographers can really help you. Like I know, like when I've done sessions with my clients before, I'm like, I make sure I know and I understand if there are, sometimes we have a favorite side
yeah,
or
100%. It's like,
right.
ooh.
I know, like it's important to have those conversations ahead of
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
right? So that you can go in there feeling comfortable, right? And don't be afraid to, I know that I'm an extrovert, so I'm like totally chat up my clients before I even take a picture because it just
Hmm.
like brings that level of comfort up to that next level. But
Well, you become
we're not,
friends, like, or
yeah,
you
we become
become,
friends. Exactly.
yeah,
And so
there's
if you think
a
about your
familiarity level.
photographer,
Yeah.
yeah, if you think about your photographer as a friend and you create that bond or that becoming blossoming bond or whatever you want to
Hmm.
call it, and that breaks the ice, right? And
Mm.
then you
Yeah.
you get into that more comfortable zone, and
Yeah.
then it's always wouldn't you say it's always the first 5 minutes that are awkward, and you're
To
like,
be
I don't
honest,
know how to do this, and
I had a realtor that I was photographed working with a week ago, and she hates having her photograph taken. Like she
Mhm.
canceled 3 times.
Wow.
Like it was postponed 3 different times. We finally sunk out. We rearranged hair and makeup each time, and I actually had her pick her favorite outfit and show me what her favorite outfit is, and then I didn't let her wear it till the end, because that's when the magic happens.
Yeah.
They warmed up, the ice is gone, she feels comfortable in her skin. I've shown her the back of my camera. We've walked through all the posing tips, all the techniques, and I was right. Like I nailed it. But it wasn't until like the last third of the shoot that those images started to come out, and
Yeah.
she started to relax and feel confident and feel good. But sometimes it takes that initial, it's like practicing. Like, you wouldn't,
It's
a
true though.
bride would, a bride would has a dress rehearsal for a reason.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
like you walk down the aisle and you practice the thing, or you practice your speech in front of a mirror for a reason, because you don't just nail it in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But a good photographer will coach you on how to pose, on how to stand, on where this, the outfits and what tells your brand story. And I mean, I take pride in doing that for
Hmm.
people.
Yeah. And I think also it's important to like, I know easier said than done, but try not to stress going into your session. I think that if you go into it with the mindset that I'm going to
It's
go
going to
and
be
I'm going
okay.
to have
Yeah.
fun and it's going to be
Yeah.
okay, I think that
Yeah.
your mindset is already like, and the right foot
100%.
is in the door,
Yeah.
right? So I think that things can
Well,
go well.
and also, like, if you vetted your photographer and you've had a couple of consultations ahead of time, so the excitement should be built by that point. That, oh yeah,
Hmm.
it's going to be great. Like the energy, the excitement,
Yes. Yeah.
all of that will have been built, so that some of that nervous anxiety will hopefully be gone,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. I think it's really huge. Like
Yeah.
just
No, for
showing
sure.
up with confidence, knowing and trusting in the person that you've picked, knowing that you've done your homework in terms of, figuring out the look and feel of photos that you want, the stories you want to be captured, all of those things. And don't go, oh, I want exactly like that person over there. Bring your story to it. Like don't try and replicate a duplicate set of them, because it's never going to happen.
No,
You'll never be happy with them.
no.
Embrace how beautiful you look in those photos, and that they've captured the best side of you, right?
Hmm.
And hopefully they don't do too much of that. The thick neck look.
Yeah.
We all have it. We all have it. And what happened, like, here's my number one tip. And it is, everyone has these, because when we smile, we pull our jaw back, so it shortens your jawline. So when you go to pose, you literally push your jaw a little bit away from your collarbone, tilt your head. It creates angle, it creates drama. And yeah, that's my tip of the day.
Well, if you remember nothing
Yeah.
else from this talk, remember
Just
that.
push your chin just slightly away from your collarbone. And especially people with thicker necks, we hate them. Girls hate them. But I've had supermodels, teeny tiny little girls,
Yes, yes, yeah,
have them. They all have it. So it's just a matter of how you position yourself and how the photographer captures it.
yeah.
And it's life too at that point. Like
Hmm.
it's real and it's beautiful and it's who you are. Like
Hmm.
that's the other thing that people really need to embrace is who you are. Just love yourself. And
I know, and you know me, like we've been friends for a long time, and forever I was like, so there's three of us, like we're three, like three musketeers, and Christine, our friend, and we get together, we hang out, and we take each other's pictures, and
yeah,
forever I would be like, yeah, no, I'm going to skip today. I'm going to skip. I would skip all the time, right?
yeah,
Because
you hate having your photo taken.
yeah, I didn't like having my photo taken because I didn't feel comfortable in my skin and whatever, or you want to lose those, extra pounds or whatever that
Yeah,
people don't even see. They see you as who you are, not like
yeah,
the extra few pounds you're holding or whatever. And then finally I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm like,
mm,
I am who I am. I'm beautiful the way I am, and I
yeah.
am going to take those photos. And and guess what happened? Yes, okay, maybe the first couple of times was kind of like,
I'm not in
oh,
love with them. I'm not in love with me. Yeah,
yeah, or like, well, maybe I could have tucked my tummy in more there, or maybe if I sat different or
yeah,
whatever. But
yeah.
my tummy doesn't define who I am as a person, right?
No,
Like
no.
my tummy defines that I've had two kids, but that's not the point. The point is that you are beautiful just the way you are. And if you lose
Exactly.
weight, if you lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 50 pounds in the next 6 months, do more photos. But for now, people don't see those extra pounds. People see you
No,
for who you are and your
yeah.
beauty within and out. And so it's so important to just let go and
And
go do the photos.
also on that note, don't be afraid to do them frequently, like at least every 2 years. We change our hair, we change our glasses, we change our styles, we change our season. Even if it's just like I call them my not just a headshot session, even if it's just like a little mini something, go get a refresher because
Yeah.
it's nice to have new photos to play with.
Hmm.
And it shows your audience, hey, she's on top of it. It's just like,
Yeah.
you buy yourself a new jacket every now and again. Buy yourself some new photos to work with and show
I
your
know.
audience that you're
Yeah.
not afraid to show up as your authentic self.
Yeah. And to be honest, like if I did that, if I said, oh, I'm just gonna wait till I lose like some weight or whatever, like five years ago, like I still wouldn't have any pictures.
Yeah.
But if you're watching this and you've seen my pictures throughout the website and the checkouts and all that stuff, and in the summit portal, you saw my pictures, right? Like you saw how confident I'm looking and how, because I wasn't concerned about what my belly
Well,
looked like or whatever.
actually the lot, like I had a summit, your summit, but we had that amazing session last fall, remember, in front of the greenhouses.
Yes. Yeah.
And we photographed each other, and we also recently did one in your office with the tropical backdrop.
Yeah.
Like that's you and me playing with each other and showing up and capturing
I
each
know.
other's
And
news. And
and
my only
infusing
problem
it.
is I don't want mine to look exactly like yours and
I
vice
know.
versa. But it's like,
I
okay,
know.
well, whatever. Like I don't,
I
yeah.
think we're also over that. We're over that. We
Yeah.
have similar
Yeah.
headshots in similar places. Whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but
But it's still me showing up as me. And
yeah.
my list is different from yours and vice versa.
Exactly. But
So
it's
who
so
cares?
important. Like, we need the headshots. We need the brand photos. Let go of if, you're not feeling this beautiful body of yours. Let that shit go. Like we see the beauty in you, and the people you serve want to see the beauty in you. So
Exactly.
show up, show yourself. And so,
Yeah.
and then, like maybe not the first session, maybe the second or the third, or maybe the first session, just feel beautiful and amazing. And you see that's going to shine through your pictures, right?
Exactly.
That's all I got to say about that.
Well, and also, no matter what your body type, there's poses that will
Yes.
accentuate and beautify you as a person. I'm not going to
Exactly.
hide it. I never say I hide it. And I never say I take 20 pounds off a person, but I'm going to pose you in such a way that you're going to look amazing.
Exactly.
And,
Exactly.
and beautiful.
Yeah. And a good
yeah,
photographer would know how to do that, right? Like to,
absolutely.
you know, not like to not accentuate certain areas of our
Well, and if
body.
you're worried about that too, when you're looking for those photographers, look and see if they showcase
Mhm.
like all body types, all skin colors. And if you like what they've done with that and you like the variety of posing and the differences, then you're probably, you can put it in the back of your head that, oh, they would work well with me. Because if you
Mhm.
look at their photos and all it is supermodels that it looks like they're working with, that's not really all that challenging. You want them to be working, you want a photographer that works with real people.
Real people, and also different, you
All
said it,
body,
all body
types.
types, also all colors, right? Because,
Yeah.
right,
Different
like
skin
it's,
colors need different lighting.
yes, different lighting
Yeah.
and different exposure and stuff like that. And that's
Well,
important
not
too. Like
even that.
I've had
Yeah.
clients before and they were like, have you ever photographed a Black woman before? And I'm like, yes, I have. Right. Like, so you want to make sure that also, you know, they can capture
Well,
you,
you want to
right?
make
Like,
sure they can actually process it properly too,
yeah,
because you don't want it
yeah,
to be overly saturated or overly bleached out.
yeah.
And that also, when you're choosing your photographer, make sure you like their style in terms of their post-production. Is it
Yes.
real looking? Is it
Yeah.
is it, you know, yeah, like those are all like, and if you
I mean,
vibe with
it can be vintagey or whatever, so long as you're,
yeah,
so long as you're, that is your style, then, you know,
yeah,
that's good. Yeah.
exactly,
Okay, cool.
exactly.
So, all right. So Anne-Marie, tell us, what does a typical day of shooting look like? How do you prepare your clients?
I basically walk them through all of that, and
Mhm.
you know, we'll have pre-planned the stories, pre-planned their props, their wardrobe,
So
et
when you
cetera, et
say
cetera.
story, sorry, I'm going to cut you off for a minute. What do you mean
Yeah.
by story?
I mean, literally the different sets, the different, you know, a set of images that's taken with the desk and a laptop. A
Okay,
set
that's
of
a story. So
images,
that's me as an
that's a
entrepreneur,
story.
me as a female
Telling,
entrepreneur
and I'm telling the
doing my
story
work.
of what you look like at how you work at your desk. Another story could be some behind the scenes stuff, you know, when you're actually doing your work, interacting
Mhm.
with a client. Another story could be how you spend your casual time, how you spend your downtime,
Yep.
what's important to you. Sometimes people will bring their kids into that because that's really important to them. I spend all my downtime over here, and this is what fuels me, kind of thing, right?
Okay,
That's what you,
cool.
so it's talking about the different stories
Like the
when I
different
say,
settings, I guess you could call them too, right? Like different
or, you know, we have different
things that
content,
you,
we have different content pillars.
content pillars that make you who you are as an
Yeah.
entrepreneur. Yeah.
Yeah. And you
Right.
want to capture those, because over the next 4, you know, in Q2, you're going to be launching this, like, you know, so you're going to be talking about these stories and these different things in your social media. You need the images to back that up. So that's what I mean by different stories.
Okay,
And I
perfect.
will have also worked out, you know, what props are relevant, what, you know, do we have to go buy fresh flowers? Is there different food products that we got to buy? So we've made sure we've got all of that stuff on set. We've walked through the different wardrobe options to properly capture those different stories, because you don't want to, if you're planning and you're doing this much work and putting it into a photo shoot, you want your photos to last as long as possible. So
I
don't
know,
come with
and
one
like,
outfit.
so maybe we
need,
don't want to use these for 5 years because we change, we evolve,
no,
you know, plus your
but
brand
you want them for
sometimes
at
also
least
changes.
2
Right. And so it's
years would be nice.
important to think about those things. Okay, so say I'm using these pictures for like the next couple of years, right? Or until the next time I do pictures. Sometimes financially you can do them once a year or whatever the case may be. It's important to know that. And going into a photo shoot, not just having one outfit. Like when we did our last photos, right? Like I have these like wrappy things that's me, that's who I am, but I have like 6 of them. So at the photo shoot I was just transferring, I was just, you know, changing
Yeah,
my top,
exactly.
adding a hat, you know, doing a few
Exactly.
different things. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to have different outfits because you want them to last. And another thing too, people will bring into their wardrobe their brand colors. And it's not everything. Like if you've got a slight like pink or yellow or a pop of something, people will be photographed with their brand color somewhere, whether
Hmm.
it's your cell phone case, laptop covers, journals, pens. Like it's not essential, but it does reinstate, or not reinstate. I can't think of the word.
Solidify, no, flow.
Anyway, it just
It keeps the
enhances it.
cohesiveness.
Yeah, it just brand awareness, right? And it's like it's so on
Mhm.
brand. And you know, like if you're a very boho country outdoor naturey, you should be photographed with some of those things,
Yes, yeah.
not downtown in a stadium next to a
Hmm.
skyscraper kind of thing, right? So it just creates that cohesive flow and solidifies your brand colors, your fonts. It brings that all to life. um so day of the shoot, I mean, we've done so much prep work. I basically walk them through each and every set, but there's a couple of things. With a lot of ladies, I like to suggest hair and makeup because that just puts that extra little bit of polish on, and you just feel that, ooh, I've been pampered.
Hmm.
You know, and like, how do you feel after you've had your nails done? You feel amazing. So
Hmm.
same thing, photo shoot, it bumps up that confidence level, which is key. And then I also, pre-photo shoot day, I suggest, you know, try to get the best sleep you can, avoid extra salt. It kind of like, you know, there's things that you know how to show up and look amazing, whether it's going to a photo shoot or standing on a stage. You know, be nice to your body and stuff too, so that you're not tired, you're not fatigued,
Hmm.
you're not going, oh, I just want to go lay in my couch, you know. Like show
Yeah,
up the best version of you as you
exactly.
can. And then we've done so much prep work, I walk you through each and every one of those. Like we've walked you through, I like handhold coach, you know, we set it up, I kind of explain the scenarios and stuff, and then I back off and like actually execute it and let it all happen. And
Awesome.
as we're shooting, you know, I'm coaching on posing, and you know, take a big deep breath every now and again. Like if you ever feel like you got that static staring into the camera face, like that's when you just need to stop for a couple of seconds, breathe, close your eyes. Tip number 2 of the day. This is literally it. If you feel like you're getting
Yeah.
frozen and smiling like for too long, lick your teeth, close your eyes, come back on camera when you're ready, because it's just freshened up all those facial muscles for you.
That's why you do that all the time.
Mhm.
I'm like, I always catch you doing that. And then
Yeah.
I
It's
always like,
like,
what is
because I
she
just feel like
doing?
it's like, and it's not natural anymore. It's not that natural intrinsic, right?
Here
Like
we
you
are
feel like,
now. We're like, throughout the call, me and you will be like licking our teeth.
yeah,
Amazing. Okay.
yeah.
That was so
Um,
good. We like,
Oh,
was there
the
more to
other
the,
one thing,
yeah,
also too, when you're vetting your photographer, make sure you know exactly what you're getting as an end product. Like know
good
what you
point.
want, know what you're getting as an end product, what you can use them for, you know, make sure there's no hidden cost, like, you know, hidden costs, studio
Additional hidden
rentals.
costs, how many digital images you're getting,
Mhm.
what kind of license do you get, all that good
All
stuff.
that, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's just as important. So it's just like when you vet a coach, when you're
Yeah.
about to buy something, ask 101
Yeah.
questions. I would rather you ask me questions now than kind of expect something that and blindside me
Yeah.
at the end of it and kind of go, what do you mean
Hmm.
you're expecting this?
Yeah, no, it's
So just
important because like with our brand photos now, like we manipulate them, right? Like we want to remove the
100%.
background. We want to crop them. We want to remove the background. We want to, you know, add
Yeah,
layers or add filters
yeah,
or whatever. And so it's very important to know that the photographer that you're hiring, the end product that you're getting allows you to do these things, right?
100%.
Which if
And
you're a
just,
brand photographer, it's probably included already, but just
yeah,
you want to make sure that you are
just,
allowed to do those things, right?
yeah, but because we'll probably have people watching here that don't necessarily have a brand photographer in their town, but they have a really good photographer, right? So they
Yes.
might need to do a little bit of coaching. This is what I want. Can you do it for me? And this
Hmm.
is what I want to use them for. So
Yeah.
just, I don't know, be upfront, tell them what you're doing. And, but most importantly, have fun with it.
Yes, lots of fun.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to let your personality shine through.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah,
Awesome.
that's it. That's all my biggest takeaways for
Cool.
nailing
I
a
think
brand
that's
shoot.
amazing. Like, I think everybody listening now, you should be ready to go ace your photo shoot. Your brand photo shoot.
Well, once they grab my freebie, they'll be like
Right?
indefinitely,
I
they'll
know. I was just going to
absolutely be
bring
able
up
to.
your freebie because it's the visual brand toolkit. Tell us about that
Yes.
and why everybody, whether you think you're going to get a photo shoot now, soon, or in a year from now, everybody should download this because it's amazing.
Well, I wrote a 28-page magazine walking you through all of these steps, and it's got I threw a lot of visuals in there because, hey, I'm a visual person.
Yeah.
But it's like I got into posing, what to look for, like your different wardrobe choices, when to incorporate props, how to use props. Like I just went through so many of those different steps. Yeah. So that's all
Amazing.
in there.
And then 28 pages. That sounds like it should be like a paid thing. Yeah, but it's free.
Well,
So
yes.
yeah. So make sure to download it. If you're listening to this, you're like, ooh, I need that. If you're getting a photo
Yeah.
shoot soon, or even if you're not, but you will in the future, make sure to grab this free visual brand toolkit. And
Yes.
not only that, but
it's also got some stock stuff thrown in there too. So
ooh, I love
yeah,
it.
so like little samples of what Magnolia and Sage is. So you can look at this and then you can see this and see how they can align.
Put it
and
together.
Put it
And
together.
you're such a good designer. Like anything you do is so beautiful that you want to download it just because of that. So because of the way you put together your brochures and magazines and the way you
yeah,
put
actually I
color
do
together and photos.
I do get this one printed and I do give it to brand clients as
Yeah,
inspiration.
it's
Yeah.
beautiful. Your magazine is so beautiful. Like, it's amazing. And if you have the VIP pass, you get a brand photography magazine and toolkit, right?
Yes.
Did I get that right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Tell us
so that's what I was just talking about. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. You know what? That
Okay.
happens too. I was talking to someone
Okay.
else the other day and we did the same thing.
Okay. I swapped it around in my head. Okay, so my visual toolkit is a really beautiful sampling of all of everything on offer for Magnolia and Sage, and it gets into yeah. So that's the visual brand toolkit, and then the one, if you got the VIP pass, includes my 28-page magazine.
Right.
And
So the
all the
brand
Magnolias.
photography magazine
Yeah.
and toolkit, that's
Yes.
the whole, yeah, which you
Yes.
get if you
So
have the
that
VIP
one
pass.
that one has about 100 photos, stock video clips, Canva templates, and then the freebie is my visual brand toolkit, and I have Canva templates, stock photos, stock video clips in there. So it's a nice sampling in a nice generic, easily to brand color palette.
Awesome.
So it's not specific to, like, it's not hot pink, it's not navy blue, it's a really nice neutral color palette, and it will blend well into any brand.
Amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
freebie, grab it, visual brand toolkit, what you just described. And if you have the VIP pass, then that's where you get the beautiful magazine and toolkit. So
yes.
and if you're like, ooh, I want that, and why wouldn't you? And also you probably would love to have a lifetime access to this interview, because you can come back every time you're thinking about doing a photo shoot or going to do a photo shoot or whatever the case might be. You can have a listen to this again, and you can have lifetime access, so you can come back to it anytime. You can there's still time for you to get your VIP pass. The button's going to be above at the top of this page, so make sure you you upgrade your pass to get lifetime access and access to all of these amazing things included in the VIP pass bundle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a lot.
There's so much good stuff in there. It's insane. I'm blown away by the quality and caliber of things that are included. $5,000+ worth of.
That's amazing.
Yes, of like toolkits and templates and memberships and mini courses and all the things in the VIP pass. It's amazing. So,
and I mean, it may not, like, all of those free things will definitely give you a beautiful introduction to all of those coaches and all of those things, and help you elevate your businesses and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, thank you so much,
Well,
Anne-Marie, for the good chats and the good conversation about photography. I love it. And thanks again.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you
also
for having me.
Thanks for being an amazing sponsor of the summit.
Aw, you're welcome.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Okay,
That's what we do for our friends. We support each other. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, and I will see you in the next interview.
Amazing. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Build Your Beautiful Business podcast. If you did, please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review the show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Julie's included a link in the shows to make it nice and easy for you. And if you want to create a beautiful, profitable business of your own, make sure to go unlock your access to Julie's 6 must-have resources for female entrepreneurs. These resources will help you build and grow your business with simplicity and ease. You can find them at juliecbutler.com/freebie vault. We'll see you in the next episode.